Good evening, Des Moines and the world. Welcome to the Doc and Lefty program, coming to you from the webcast1live.com studios up by the Merle Hay Mall. This is Lefty. As always, we're bringing you the perspectives you love from the sides you hate. And across the table, he's waving the white flag of Obamacare and the rainbow flag of equality. It's my good buddy, J. Patrick, the Doctor Bertroche. I'm going to start giving you boxer intros from now on.
Oh, yeah.
In this corner, in the red, white, and blue trunks, weighing in at 0 pounds worth of opinions. But I think I'm going to try that from now on.
Well, when I was covering the fights here in Des Moines, they would introduce me as Dr. Lou Albano. So they'd get up there, and one time the guy did it. He goes, "And our ringside physician," and then he went off. Oh my God, it was a riot. Anyway, yeah, maybe we ought to do that.
Maybe, yeah. I'll start coming up with some stuff. Hey, I wrote something.
Oh my goodness,
I did. I wrote something, and
you write a song?
No, productive, something for the website.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, I wrote it. I wrote it a week ago. Still waiting for it to go up.
Oh, did you? You sent it to Jen?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
and I sent her another email to confirm, because sometimes she my writing is so few and far between that I think it either goes into a spam folder or she just doesn't know what to do with it, and
well, she knows what to do with it. Throw it right in the trash. That's what she should be doing for it. So.
But so we got a lot to talk about.
We do.
This one is going to go.
This one's going to go long, so I'm not sure if we should keep doing the throat clearing stuff or if we should
go
dive right in.
We should get right into it, I think. Where do you want? Yeah, we had the two big ones. And by big ones, everyone knows what we're talking about. We had the two big Supreme Court decisions come down last week. We had a 6-3 ruling in Burwell v. the Department of Human Services, Secretary of Service, whatever it's called. Come down. Oh boy, it was on. Good grief! This is awesome radio.
Yeah, it came down last Thursday.
Yep. Last Thursday. Okay. Last Thursday, and then Obergefell v. Hodges came down on Friday. Back-to-back landmark decisions. Burwell was 6-3 in favor of holding up the subsidies that are at the very core of the funding for the Affordable Care Act. And, of course, Obergefell v. Hodges. I'm just going to call it Obergefell because I'm having a hard time. Hodges, because I'm having a hard time with Obergefell.
Well,
I'll get it.
Anybody would.
I'll get it.
Anybody would.
The big one. Obergefell v. Hodges.
And I think we also ought to talk. This is going to be kind of like a last-minute adjustment. We should also talk about the EPA ruling they had.
Oh, sure.
So, yeah. So go ahead.
Which made it legal in all 50 states for same-sex couples to get married. The United States now has universal marriage equality in all 50 states. It was 37 before the ruling. And the Supreme Court drugged the last 13 by their ears into, I guess you would call it the modern era of equality. And so it was a big day for advocates of marriage equality all over the country. It coincided, it was a week after the major pride parades and things, I believe, but it did it was close to those, and there was a lot of celebration and a lot of hand-wringing over the decision. That was a 5-4 ruling, of course. Anthony Kennedy joining the 4 liberal justices, Justice Sotomayor, Kagan, Ginsburg, and good grief.
Some other lefty.
I
hate it when that
Souter,
happens to me.
Right?
Yes.
He's not on the court anymore.
David
Is he?
Souter?
I thought he retired.
He might have retired.
That is embarrassing. Well, anyway, Justice Kennedy wrote the opinion, which was fitting since he has written the major homosexuality opinions. He wrote Lawrence v. Texas. He wrote the Windsor opinion overturning DOMA, and I read it, and it's very readable if you want to. It's not too long. It's about 30 pages or so. All 4 conservative justices, Alito, Roberts, Thomas and Scalia dissented. They joined each other's dissents, but 4 dissents on the same-sex marriage ruling, which is didn't happen very often. Really got their ire up, and so we're going to talk about those 2 big cases today and what that means for the country.
Now, one of the first questions I'm going to ask you.
Oh, we're just going to get right into it. Okay.
Or we can.
I thought you had a little bit of commentary. I think it's great. I think both of them are great.
Then I'll put my commentary in. I think that there is going to be a ton. Get your hand out of my camera view.
No. Stop it. So I had something that I couldn't. I had to.
Well, he's making animal faces right there. You're busting my shot, dude.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. But I think these decisions are going to have wide-ranging applications far beyond what people think they do now. In my opinion, the way the opinion is written by the majority is going to apply to Second Amendment rights, right? They're saying, well, you have to cover everything, right? States are now subject to federal authority that if it's, we dictate one way and it's going to happen across the nation, that's going to, one of the things I think is it's going to be a boost for Second Amendment issues. I think that the SCOTUS decision also points out the fallacy in Republican thinking that, well, we're just going to get somebody up there that the Democrats will tolerate. Because the problem is both of these justices that have, quote, switched sides from conservatives and are siding with the liberals, both of them were appointed by a Bush, I believe. And
Anthony Kennedy, I think, was Ronald Reagan.
Anthony Kennedy was from Ronald Reagan.
Wasn't he? Or was he George H.W. Bush?
I thought he was H.W. I could be wrong, but the bottom line is the Republican appointees. So the bottom line is we've had a fundamental shift in politics in the U.S., and that, I believe, is having a direct influence on the Supreme Court. And I don't know if that's a good influence or not a good influence. I think they should be insular from all these influences on the outside. I think they need to be making decisions based upon what the Constitution is and based upon how the law is read. And I think that should be their interpretation. I don't believe it should be, well, we struck this down, therefore this is the law of the land. That's legislating from the bench, in my opinion. So I think there's a lot of things that are a slippery slope in a lot of these decisions. Now, the one bright spot in this entire week of conservative failing in front of the Supreme Court is the EPA decision where Barack Obama had through his EPA had issued a bunch of fatwas about, well, this is what you can do with coal and here are the emissions regulations. And so they struck that down. So we did get a small victory out of it, but
they didn't, they usually will, the people were a little bit surprised at that one because there's a long, history of a thing called Chevron deference that says that the agency has crafted the rules. We're going to give great deference to it because it's a quasi-legislative body. It's delegated by the legislature, and then these are the folks that are the experts, but they didn't do that in this case. So I guess, to kind of respond to what you're saying.
Well, let's respond after the commercial break. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're going to get right back at it. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those shows where Lefty and I are slugging it out during the commercial breaks. Thanks, everybody, tuning in. We want to thank our sponsors, Petrosian Associates, Luvinas Law Firm, Halo Capital, Des Moines Interest Rates, Des Moines Anesthesia PC, 515-574-6442. Lefty actually has something that he's written, and it's been a solid, 4 years since you've written anything? And
About
that? All right. So go check out the website. That'll be up. I'm going to be writing something here in the next couple of days. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We'll be back right after this break.